Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Poland Daily Travel. I'm laughing because Nicholas just said something very funny, which I can't repeat on YouTube, but or on television. Either one. We're on television first, then we're on YouTube, of course. But it's nice to be back in the saddle. In the last show, we were talking about vaccines, and I want to get quickly to that subject because I know it's very important to people. Because you can't travel now without testing and vaccines. And I can certainly tell a long story about that. Hopefully, I can shorten it to make it slightly entertaining, or at least informative. But Nicholas, you're getting a test. Could you tell us about it?
I'm getting a vaccine
a vaccine
in about 3 weeks' time, I think.
Yeah.
I just went on the Polish government website on the appointed day and made an appointment, and there it is. And I think it's going to be the AstraZeneca one, according to the rubric.
And what are you paying for that?
I'm nothing. It's on the Polish health service, so it's free.
It's on the health service, but you pay money for that.
Well,
so
you pay money for health service, but I mean, essentially, anybody resident in Poland is entitled to be vaccinated.
Is that correct?
It is.
Yeah, very good.
I mean, in fact, I don't think anywhere maybe you can actually get private vaccines. I don't think they're yet available.
Yes, it's a similar thing in many of the states, although I was able in Chicago, just being Johnny on the spot, I was with a friend of mine who was getting his vaccine. I needed to test, but they said, you know,
would you like a vaccine?
Would you like a vaccine? Because you're traveling a lot.
I think it's possible to get them on the spot here.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, of course, people don't turn up for their appointments and they get to the end of the day, and this stuff doesn't survive. You can't sort of put it back in the fridge if you've opened it.
That was it. Yeah, they had it. It was available. Yeah.
So you can do that.
Yeah.
And also, if you phone the government, now I went on the website, but if you phone them, there's a government telephone line as well. And I told that if you phone it and you're prepared to travel, they'll find a spare slot 100 kilometres away. And some people I know have done that. They were so keen to have it, they just jumped in their car and went to where they were told to go.
Well, it's worth doing. I mean, I did a lot of jumping around to get mine.
But I'm quite happy. Now I've got an appointment, I'm quite happy to take my turn in the normal course of events.
Okay, so we've also got Harold. Harold, you haven't had a vaccine yet, have you?
No, sir, and it's unlikely that I would be able to get one until at least August here in Estonia. So, and this, of course, is the result of the incompetence of the European Union. And drawing on what Nicholas said in an earlier episode, I can point out that the European Union had every right to seek out vaccines from BioNTech, which is a German-based company, which was working with Pfizer to develop their very successful vaccine. And the European Union didn't want to pay the asking price at first, so they waited and waited, and they waited until such a point as there were no more large quantities, let's say 100 million dose range, of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine left to buy. And that is why the European Union basically went hand in hand begging for vaccines wherever they could get them. So anyway, back to vaccine tourism.
Cap in hand, you mean?
Yeah, cap in hand,
yeah.
Yes. Serbia, interestingly enough, because it's not a member of the European Union, they decided to go out and they bought about 10 million doses worth of vaccines. And they have now vaccinated about 30% of their citizens. And they're inviting people from all over Europe to come visit the beautiful country of Serbia and engage in a bit of vaccine tourism, where you can go and no lineups and get your vaccine immediately for free. And of course, you have to stay there for 2 or 3 weeks in order to get your second dose. And they're offering the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine or the Moderna one.
In Estonia. I'm sorry, in Serbia. In Serbia. Yeah, in Serbia. Yeah, Moderna is the one I had. I had the first one.
Yes, they're the two best. They're the mRNA, so-called vaccines, which are, it's the revolutionary technology. And so far, there have been no deaths that I've seen in any reports, and no serious side effects, unlike AstraZeneca, unlike Johnson & Johnson, which unfortunately have resulted in a few deaths and some serious blood clots. But on the order
but out of millions.
Yeah, and on the order
nothing's
of 20
perfect.
out of 30 million doses.
Well, these same
So-
people would take, their money and go and gamble in Las Vegas, thinking they might win something. The odds are much better with the vaccines.
Indeed.
You know.
No,
one
also,
of the
there's
things.
another chance for me to go to Tel Aviv, where I have a friend, and I can get a vaccine there. Again, either Pfizer, BioNTech, or the Moderna.
And this is a vaccine, can we call this vaccine tourism?
Yes, yes.
That's something the governments
I mean,
of
Israel
Israel
is not inviting people, but Serbia, their President Vucic, actively, he went on CNN and said, please come to our lovely country and enjoy Serbia and get your vaccine. You don't have to wait in the European Union.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is a lovely country, and Belgrade is a beautiful city. I walked all over it a couple of years ago. Fantastic trip. So Nicholas, when you have your first exam, you will get the second one how long after it?
I'm not quite sure. 5 or 6 weeks, I think, or maybe.
Yeah, I was
up to
told
12
minimum of 4 weeks.
Up to 12 weeks. I don't know
Yeah.
whether Poland is following the British 12-week approach or not.
Yeah. Well, what I asked the doctor in the clinic, I said to him, Dr. Rubin, I said, now they're Dr. Rubin? He said, call me Ira. I said, okay, Ira, that's fine. He said, nice to meet you. He goes, I said, now Ira here, you're giving me the vaccine today. How long, what is the longest period I can wait, because I'm traveling, before I come back through Chicago to get my next one, because I'll return to the United States, through Chicago in a couple of months, for example. And he said, well, we know that it's a minimum, it's got to work on you, a minimum of 4 weeks. And then after that, we don't know. I mean, a reasonable time after that can be a few months to get the second one. Yeah. But now they're talking about a third one. And we'll talk more about vaccines when we come back, because I've heard a little bird in my ear. His name is Raffle. He's our producer. He's a nice man. But he has told me to get on with it for the next show. Harold, we'll see you in the next show and continue our fantastic, informative talk about vaccines and how we're getting them and so forth. All right. Thanks for watching Poland Daily Travel. Please, when this comes on YouTube, like it and ring the bell, and you can see lots and lots of episodes, over 600 episodes of Poland Daily Travel. It's easy for me to say, apparently not. And take care. See you next time.